keep pushing. You're gonna see the wrath of Khan soon. That's dangerous.
I see how it is.
Okay, let's
Probably want to read to it.
okay. So we know how to wire a CAD. I've seen all of you do it. CAD still control, so let's do that. Again, now the part, not everything is in front of you. The CAD might fall off. It might be not in the right place. What did we experience with the CAD cell all the time? Tracy? You fixed that. Like it's loose, it falls off.
Oh, okay.
So you might want to go and like tighten the receptacle a little bit to make it not as loose. Primary control, that's the same as the CAD. Stack mount relay, you know how to wire this. We're not going to use it, but at least you know how to wire it. Thermostat, you know how to test for thermostat, right? You can jump on the thermostat if the equipment runs, that means it's not running correctly. You can take out the thermostat and jumper at the thermostat. You can check for continuity, okay? So I don't want you to go there, hey, it's not working, come look at it. Try a little bit, put some effort, investigate, this is the fun part. And again, here, if you mess up, it's not a big deal, you can fix it. In somebody's house, you're gonna get sued, and you might lose your license. Step switches,
What does it mean?
huh? Those are the switches before you turn it on. The Firematic, the two switches, because you're always gonna have two switches. One, top of the stairs called the emergency switch. Before you go to the basement, you shut it off. Then you go there, then there's another switch. So locate those switches, locate the fuse. There's a lot of loose wiring in the shop. Fix that, don't work with it. If it's loose, somebody before you just like let it out. Make sure everything is continuous. And go check the continuity, open every box and make sure it's connected. Take your time. I mean, 2.5 hours is plenty of time. Say 5 hours now is plenty of time. Thermal switch. Check the thermal switch for continuity. Many times it's not working, it's dysfunctioning. We know how to check for continuity. Pump operation is going to be useful for Brody. Is it running okay? Is it leaking? Where is it leaking? Bleed the pump. Motor operation, is it humming? Is it running? Is it dead? Making scratchy noise? Check that. It should be smooth. And check the ignitions and control are there in the right place. Some of them you put them in, then you cover it and it unplugs. So be careful. Always shut off then check. Do not check things while they're on because you might get zapped. So be very careful. And again, it's going to be very enjoyable. This is the what we worked for the last 6 months to do. Try to establish this knowledge. And I think by now you feel 70% confident. I mean, you can manage it. You can ask, you can tell, you can look at schematics. Yeah.
How do you put the system on step?
For stack?
Step. Yeah, is it for the stack? That's for the stack, right?
Yeah.
You just pull
You
it
will
out.
deliver that.
Okay.
Okay. So you'll be able to properly wire a live component, hot water, oil pump. And again, if you do forced air this week, next week I want you to switch to steam. I have 5 running over there, 2 steam, 1 forced water, actually 2 forced water and 1 hot air. Just change it up again. Sometimes the schematic do not match, so they try to like logically think of what's happening and the sequence of operation. Everyone's going to be different, but you know now at least the basic things between the primary, what is it control, what wire goes where, and what wire needs to be powered, which wires need to be powered in the primary control.
For what?
For it to function, start working.
Limit
things.
in L1.
Huh?
A limit in L1.
A limit and L1 has to be wired. What if we don't have a limit? Then we're good. And you'll see the new primary and the old primary. Each one has a different one, so get familiar with it. And the colors are very important. Neutral, black, hot,
Line 1.
blue,
Ignition.
purple,
Oil.
oil valve, if there's oil valve. If there's no oil valve, cap it.
And limit.
Limit, hot, orange.
Green
Motor.
is cancel. It's on there.
Why do we have separate, like, black one and limit? Could do just one, right?
No, because this will put it in standby. This will just tell it to turn on or off. So, and again, standby is good because it operates all the stuff inside, get some power, yeah,
So limit is like a switch.
yeah. But
Do you always have to wire line 1 to the black and the limit, or just the limit?
No, usually just the black. If you have an aqua stat, you put it to the limit. If there is no aqua stat, you wire it with the black.
Okay.
You don't use the limit if there's if
Yeah,
there's
If
no
there's no
aqua
aqua stat,
stat,
you don't
you
use it.
just cap the limit?
Yeah.
Instead of running the black? to
Yeah.
it. Okay.
No, you have to run black to the limit. If the limit does not get activated, nothing will happen.
So
If the
line
limit-
one goes to the.
Limit and black if there is no aqua stat.
And black.
Yeah.
If there is an aqua stat, you don't wire the limit.
If there is aqua stat, you wire the limit to B1.
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Because it acts as an end switch.
Yeah. That's the activation switch. It's gonna be always hot. If you have an aqua stat, this will go to the B1.
Yep.
No aqua stat, it's gonna go with the black wire.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Both of them have to be activated. They're activated. And it's okay, it's a learning curve. You'll get the hang of it. I just want you to be safe. I don't want any issues. When you turn it on, the pump is pressurized. So turn it on quickly and check for a leak. If there's a leak, shut it off. Have speedy dryer next to you, rags, goggles. So let's see how it goes. We have several furnaces and boilers. There's plenty of them. There's 12 in the back. We're not doing the back, we're doing the one in here because I want to be close and see what's happening. After 2 weeks, we'll do the ones in the back. I will leave you kind of alone to struggle there. But hopefully by then you will be kind of more adequate. I mean, now I feel like I'm feeling very comfortable with what I've seen so far. All equipment have an oil burner, whether it's a hot air. We all use a lot of oil, so we have at least 17 oil burners in here. We have gas. We're not going to do gas now. We'll do gas later, and I'll do only one quick lap for that because there was no inspection of the gas pipes here since the 60s.
Wow.
So I feel like leaving the gas line open is not a good idea. We do not leave it open. So we turn it on, we try to test on it, and we shut it off again. Honeywell, Beckett's got cell controls. We have the Honeywells. Those are the Honeywells. Beckett's look different, but they all do the same function. They all have the same wiring, and the same order of operation will happen. Fuel stack line relay, we don't have much, only fuel. The main oil circulation pump, you know what that is?
Oil
Must bring
circulation.
oil to all your furnaces, all your
It's the big tank in the back.
boilers.
It has to be on. It circulates the pump through the entire shop. If it doesn't, then there's no oil pressure. Follow your oil supply, make sure there's oil. If you have to, you can take out the oil line and see if there's flow to it. You can bleed the pump to know if the pump is running, if there's oil. So we did most of these procedures. It's gonna take a time for us to make them solid. So this is the first one. It's an elephant. It's furnace. The furnaces are labeled as F1. These are Bs. So F1 is an elephant. This is a typical furnace that could be coupled with hot air system or with an AC. And this is in the back. It's also another furnace. So you'll see the hot air coming. There's an air switch here that you have to connect, and the motor is in the bottom, and we will change this control. So if you look here, this is the other furnace. Again, it looks kind of messy because everybody keep plugging it in and out, back and forth. We're not going to work with this one because it coupled with the AC, and Bill has wired that to the other AC. B1, that's the first boiler. It's very old. It's a modified boiler. It used to have used to be operating with coal and wood. That's why we have the big door. But it's a simple operation, and it's a steam. If you leave it long enough, you'll see steam coming out of this pipe. So it's just steam outside. And we have low water cutoff and high pressure set switches that are wired from the side, and I'll give you the schematic for that. But first thing you do is you locate your switches, you locate your power source, you locate your oil, and check those things and take your time. In the back here we have B3, which is again a steam system, and this one actually is cool because you can see the steam upstairs hitting the upstairs, so we can look at that and try to wire. It's very, very simple system. And I like to keep those two because you can open the door and see the flame. See what's happening, you can adjust it, and so on. So, we're kind of setting a furnace. I'll say you and this person go and try to take it apart. We'll take out all the wiring and rewire it again. Don't trust things that are wired that are okay. And assume everything is messed up. Go and trace the wiring from the beginning. Locate your panel board. Each one has its own panel board that get plugged in. So make sure they have the C switches, everything is okay. If something looks sketchy to you, this is wired to nowhere, trace it and see where it's wired to. Locate your supply line. There's at least 2 pneumatic switches on it and a valve, make sure it's open. Check the venting system before you turn it on. Look at the swing door, look at that. Some of them have actually manual, open and close. Locate your power supply. Connect the cadre and primary together. Make sure it's connected to the right place. When you push back the primary to the box, make sure that nothing gets loose. I want to see very solid connections, because this is going to be something happening in real life. You can't just leave the cat dangling like that. Like if you do that, nobody will accept that. The only reason it's like this is because we always take it back and forth all the time, and we switch it. But if you leave wiring like that in somebody's house, they're going to complain. It's not acceptable. Have me look at the wiring, check. Hopefully, we'll have less things to check, and we can try it out. And make sure every board you use has either a fuse or a circuit breaker as a safety device. We don't want to turn it on and something squawk really heavily. Check the thermostat response, make sure it's working. Also check for continuity. Take the thermostat from the cat cell, put it on both leads on continuity, and turn the thermostat on and see if it moves or not. That's a good way to check the thermostat. Check the flame response, flame presence, and check for proper operation. If it has an aquastat, does it actually turn on the circulator when it reaches 180 or not? Check for smoke, visually for now. Where do you check for smoke? Huh?
To
The vents,
Oh.
the breech, you can look at the vent. And check what venting situation do you have. Do you have a powered venter? Do you have draft? Do you have currential? And it should be a lot of fun.
Are we taking off the top or on some of the back to
We'll do
check
that
for
during the troubleshooting.
how dirty it is?
Yeah. When we do troubleshooting, we'll do that. It's gonna be a lengthy process, but I think it's very, very important, because eventually you're gonna go there and clean it with brushes. These are very clean. You work like 2 hours a year. But I want you to get the experience of opening it up. So when you have to go and open it up, it's not going to be very scary. This is a connection for, what is this now? We did that before. That's an aquastat. That's the primary control. And that's the first schematic we saw. So for a hot air system, it's going to be the Olsen. We have a fan limit switch. So if you follow the schematics with the same color, it should be okay. But if you notice, the black line, which is the hot line, goes to the fan limit switch, which will sense the temperature. The fan limit switch along will check, will turn on the fan first, then it will turn on the primary.
Yeah, it's a safety control, right?
It's also to ensure that the air temperature, if there's no air temperature, then it's not going to work on.
Should we use some color for it?
Yeah,
What is the red line?
and the rest is the same.
Yes.
This is for the steam system. For the steam system, you need pressure control and cold water cutoff. Are those connected in series or parallel? Series, thank you. L1 goes through the low water cutoff, it comes out. This is just a wire nut. Then it goes into the pressure control and goes up. So if any of those is out, nothing will happen. That's very simple. And those you will see in every steam system, they look different all the time. Different control, different location, but you need to have those all the time. Then you have the plug going to the cat control, and if we have a limit, we'll put the limit with the black line. Or you can wire the plug completely to the hot line from here, and you wire the limit to this switch. So that you can do. And yeah, and let's use fresh wire this time. If you have no wire, let's use fresh wire. If the wire is fails, let's change the wires, because again, this is not the board. How to check draft control for function?
draft in there. If it works, it works, if it doesn't, it doesn't.
It's swinging freely. I should come back shut after you turn it off. I should move a little bit when there's draft. So I should swing freely. And what is the oil line pressure?
Depends on the pump.
Now coming in.
Coming in,
Some from 0 to 2 per side. It's gravity fed,
oh,
not a lot. So if you open the oil line, there's nothing coming out, it's just like fill. That means that that's normal. It's pressure, gravity pressure. Was there smoke in the fire chamber? Check if there was smoke. And again, if it's smoking, leave it for 15 minutes and check if it's goes out or not. How do you check if there's oil flow in the oil line? You bleed the pump. If there's oil coming out, then it's okay. If you increase the air intake, what happened to the flame? You can see that. It becomes smaller and bigger. I want you to play with it a little bit and see what happens. If you have less air, it will be more smoke. Okay? Let's be safe and do that with no issues. Now it's this time.